To give you an example of the situation of these temples and their relationship with the military government, I now would like to talk about the systems of the 5 great Zen temples of Kamakura. These were also known as the 5 great mountains of Kamakura and were constructed under the patronage of the Kamakura regents, or shiken, of the shogunate government. These temples were Kenchoji of the Rinzai school and were constructed on the orders of Emperor Gofuku Kakusa and founded in 1253 by the Chinese Zen master Rankei Doryo. This master was brought directly from China by the government, and the temple was constructed, and Rankei Doryo's installment was done under the patronage of the 5th Kamakura regent, Hojo Tokiyori. The second temple of these 5 temples was Engakuji, of the Engakuji school of Rinzai Zen, founded by the Chinese monk Sogen Mugaku after the Mongol invasion between 1274 and 1281, under the patronage of the 8th regent, Hojo Tokimune, and officially dedicated in 1282. The third of these 5 temples was Jufukuji Temple, a branch temple of Kenchoji of the Rinzai school, and was founded by the originally Tendai monk Eisai, who became then the founder of the Rinzai school of Zen Buddhism, in 1200, under the patronage of Hojo Masako, the eldest child of the first Kamakura regent, Hojo Tokimasa, who was married to the first shogun of the Kamakura period and the mother of the second and third shoguns. The 4th temple was Jochiji of the Rinzai school, founded by the monk Nanshu Kokai, also known as Ishingo Zenji, together with the Chinese Zen masters of Gotan Fune and Daikyu Shonen, under the patronage of the son of the 5th regent, Hojo Tokiyori, Hojo Munemasa, and his son, Hojo Morotoki, between 1281 and 1283. The 5th and final temple was Jomyoji of the Kenchoji school of Rinzai, founded by the monk Taiko Gyoyu in 1188. The importance of Kenchoji and Engakuji temples during Nichiren Shonin's era was that with the establishment of the Kamakura Bakufu's, or the shogunate's 5 great Zen temple system, it consolidated its power under the regency of Hojo Tokiyori, not only a great patron of the temple itself, but a near Zen master himself. The objectives of the 5 Zen temple system in Kamakura was therefore not only religious, but also political. Kenchoji became the head temple of these 5 temples at the time, and wielded a very important and influential role within the Kamakura government. Besides later developing to a great center of Buddhist learning and literature, the Gozan, or 5 temple system, allowed the government in Kamakura to use these temples to function as a de facto government ministry, using the temple's networks throughout the country to distribute government laws and norms and to monitor local military superiors. The regency disguised their power under religious masks, with monks working for the government as translators, diplomats, and advisors. The second temple in ranking of importance of these 5 temples was Engakuji. The Kamakura Regency invited the founding monk to come from China in order to establish the temple, and is said to have had in 1283 more than 250 people residing within its walls, including more than 100 monks. It later also became its own independent school. Engakuji was also a very important Buddhist learning center for many years afterwards. In fact, many of you might have heard of the Buddhist scholar Daisetsu Suzuki, who wrote many books about Zen Buddhism for the West. Another temple that was very heavily involved with the Kamakura government, very closely connected to the political and military authorities, was the temple of Gokurakuji Temple in southwestern Kamakura. The chief priest of this temple, which was a Shingon Ritsu, a combination of the Shingon and Vinaya monastic school of Buddhism, was a priest called Ryokan, also known as Ryokanbo. The Shingon Ritsu school of Buddhism was established in the Kamakura period by the priest Eison, with its head temple being Saidaiji in Nara. Ryokan, or Ryokan Nisho is also as it's called, was a disciple of this founding priest, Eison. And Ryokan became the founding and first patriarch of Gokurakuji Temple, which was built in 1259 under the patronage of Hojo Shigetoki. Hojo Shigetoki was so involved with the temple that he was later also called Lord Gokurakuji, to show you this very strong connection that he had with this temple. Hojo Shigetoki was the shogun's deputy to the imperial court in Kyoto, and he later became the personal assistant to the regent in Kamakura. In 1256, Hojo Shigetoki became a monk, and he retired to Gokurakuji Temple, which he had helped to establish.